If you suspect identity theft, there's three things you should do right away. First, contact the financial institution where you think the fraud occurred and put them on alert. Next, obtain a police report. This can be done by just Googling or using Yahoo to find the telephone number for your local police department and let them know that there's fraudulent activity happening. What they'll do is they'll send someone to your house or ask you to come to the station and make a report. And third, what you should do is put a freeze on your credit report. What that'll do is it will allow the credit bureaus to know that there's something happening. They will preclude anyone from opening up future accounts in your name. And by going through each one of those three steps, you're not dealing with tons and tons of fraud accounts. It's just that one that we can focus on and really go after. To report fraud to financial institutions, usually if it's one that you've dealt with, you can just look on the back of your card. It'll have the telephone number to submit disputes to. If it's a wholly new financial institution, you can just Google their number and there'll be a claims department number or a fraud department number, and just call whatever number you can find associated with that financial institution. And it's important to put them on notice right away as soon as you find out about the fraud so that they can help stop it, hopefully in your favor. Fraud alerts on your credit report for yourself or for your children can be placed online. So what you can do is you can look up the credit bureau's websites. They'll have links on their websites to place credit freezes. From there, you either fill out a form if you're comfortable doing that online, or you can call an 800 number associated with each credit bureau and place that freeze, which will ensure that no one without your consent can open any accounts in your name. A law firm helps with identity theft in a couple of ways. First, what we can do is take the pressure off of your shoulders. Usually by the time people have reached out, they've already done disputes and they've already been rejected, and it feels like they have no other options. But we do this every day. We know what the banks are doing and should be doing. The same thing with the credit bureaus. We know what they're doing and should be doing. So we can be in there with you, resolving this on your behalf, since it's in line with our expertise. Aside from that, when the banks aren't listening to you, we can turn the tables and hold them accountable along with anyone else that's assisting in the fraud, whether it's the credit bureaus, debt collectors, and anyone. So we turn the tables on them and hopefully have this end in a silver lining for you. Obviously, the fraud and identity theft is terrifying, but these types of cases, we're regularly getting six figures in our client's pocket from each defendant. These types of cases often end in seven figures in our client's pocket from each defendant. So if you find yourself in such a situation, give local law a call so we can take it off your plate. One recent verdict that we received is on behalf of a minor who unfortunately his father, his biological father, took out about 8 accounts, 8 credit cards in his name, racking up a couple $100,000 worth of debt. So our client got to the stage where he was applying for colleges. And of course, for college these days, he and his mom needed student loans. They found out that when they were getting rejected for student loans, that dad did this. Unfortunately, dad was never in our client's life. And instead of being there for his son, dad is utilizing these funds to travel around Europe, staying in luxury hotels, buying alcohol, and really living his best life on his son's dime. Unfortunately, by the time the client came to us, everyone had rejected his claims. Each of the 5 banks had rejected his claims. Each of the 3 credit bureaus had rejected his claims. So he was told 8 different times by 8 separate entities that these are in fact his loans, even though they were taken out in his name when he was 12 years old. At that point, what we were able to do was file a lawsuit against everybody, get the accounts closed, get the accounts off our client's credit report, and altogether put multiple millions of dollars in our client's pocket.